there. I am filming from the Outer Banks. I went on a little trip to the Outer Banks with my family. Technically, we are in Rodanthe, if you're familiar with the Outer Banks at all. It's about a half an hour from Buxton, and there's this bakery in Buxton called the Orange Blossom. And my sister-in-law really wanted to check that out. She's kind of a connoisseur of bakeries. And I was like, well, sure, bakery, what's not to like? So we found this bakery called the Orange Blossom, and then we stumbled across this really cool bookstore. And the woman at the bookstore was kind enough to let me film. So I want to share with you guys the Buxton bookstore. And that is something that we stumbled upon accidentally this morning, so that footage is ahead. And at the end of the film, I will show you what I purchased. So this is the bookstore that we found. Technically the address is Buxton. It's Buxton Village Books. But it's Hatteras. Most people, they may not know of Buxton, but they know of Hatteras. And there's lots of parking, which is nice because we just went to this really adorable bakery called Orange Blossom Bakery, but the parking wasn't ideal. So we actually pulled in here to eat. We thought we'll just sit here and eat our goodies from the bakery. And I was like, wait a minute, this is a bookstore. I absolutely have to look at this bookstore. So they have used books, half off the original cover. And it's mostly mysteries. I saw a lot of Tom Clancy, Scott Turow, a lot of mystery books. And it's on the road, the main road in Buxton. There's also, these are all half price used books. They're all paperbacks. And then over here there's a bin of paperbacks for $1, and you have to pick these for $1 if you want. And it's interesting because one of the books in here is Burden of Proof by Scott Turow, which is also over there. And then there's cute little plants, and oh, it says sea bags. I'm not sure what that is, and little seashells, because after all, we are at the beach. Now here's me, mask required beyond this point. Time to put my mask on. Here's the and the very nice lady in here gave me a mask, so that's not a problem. I have a mask. And when you come in, there's cute little knickknacks, these wood tile magnets by a local author. Because I think it was another book tag I talked about. Sometimes books in the bookstore are so expensive. Amazon's such a competitor, but you can buy the cutest little gifts. And then, because it's the Outer Banks, there's different local things. There's a calendar. I saw something, these are like books on Hatteras. I think we're about 3 miles from the lighthouse. Okay, and then over here, I like this. There's a thing on sea glass. It's so hard not to pick it up and want to look at it. I could, I'm sure, if I wanted, but with the pandemic, people are being more careful. And then over here, there's some cookbooks. And this is what really got my attention, all the new releases. I just couldn't stop but looking at them all and thinking, oh yeah, that one was good, that one disappointed me. This one on my last vlog, you might remember, I talked about The Newcomers by Mary Kay Andrews. I like that book, and it's about the woman that was kind of living in the motel, and the motel I stayed at reminded me of that book. I saw this Daniel Silva, and I've never heard of that author before, but the name sounds so familiar. I'm thinking that probably there are some good books, so I'm considering buying that one. Stephen King, for my Stephen King fans, has a book out. Karen Slaughter. That, I've read Karen Slaughter. She's awfully graphic for my taste, you know, too much violent depiction of things for me. So, not really a fan, but she's got a new release. And then I thought I saw one of my favorites, one that I fall back to whenever Leanne Moriarty. Still not sure how to pronounce her name, but I love her book. So that one's the most tempting purchase for me in this bookstore. I just did a book review on A Slow Burning Fire, if you want to find that on my channel. And Jennifer Weiner, I didn't know she had, I don't know if that's a new, well, it says new release, so maybe she has a new one that summer. Mary Alice Monroe, The Summer of Lost and Found. I could spend all day in here. Oh, here's some I See Water for Elephants. This might be the previously loved section. Oh, The Great Santini by Pat Conroy. I thought it had a different title. I thought the original book was titled one thing and the movie was The Great Santini. But this is a really fantastic movie. It used to be part of the curriculum for American Lit. It has all the themes in American Lit, you know, the desire to own your own house, the desire to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. That's a fantastic book. And movie. If you prefer to watch the movie, you could probably still find it. Cute little bags. Young adult section. Oh, they have some classics. They have Anne Frank and Charles Dickens. The Iliad, the Odyssey. How cool. Lots of science fiction. The Nature of Witches. Gossip Girl. I didn't know that was a book. I knew it was a TV show. And Fangirl. I reviewed that one. Right next to Simon Snow and Carry On. That's a really good young adult book if you are looking for, it's a story of a girl's first year of college, Fangirl. And, you know, I have a book review for that on my channel. One of Us is Lying, fantastic book. I believe that's been made into a TV series. And One of Us is Next is the sequel. I might need to buy that. It's only $20 if they are charging the cover price. I might buy that one because I know my students will borrow that from me and I can keep it and get my money's worth. Lots of people will get to read it. All right. Over here is the used books. Wow, look at all of these. Did anyone read those, The Girl Who This and The Girl Who That? I got about 50 pages into one and gave up. I'm sorry, Mr. Larson, but I just didn't get it. But it must be me because lots of people love those books. So there's a few of those here. See, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I think actually that's the one I read and gave up on. All right. Oh my goodness. There's so much in this bookstore. It's really cool. So, if you are ever out this way, I highly recommend Buxton Books. All right, so we're back now. We're back to the beach house and it's time for the big reveal. You want to see what I bought? So here's my package from it says Buxton Village Books on the bag, buxtonvillagebooks.com. The phone number is 252-995-4240 if you're interested. I don't know if you can buy online or not, but the woman was really nice, and so I said I would, you know, give information for her bookstore. And I bought a used book first by Daniel Silva because it just sounded so familiar. I'm thinking this is probably a really good author that slipped under my radar. So it was a used book, and it was called The New Girl, and it's about, I guess, It looks like it's about a girl in a very exclusive private school that arrives in a motorcade, and it turns out she's the daughter of a Saudi Arabian prince, and she gets kidnapped, and there's this international intrigue that enters into the story. There's this guy from Israeli intelligence, I think, that tries to find the girl, and it says together, I think the father of the girl kidnapped and the Israeli intelligence guy, it says together they will become unlikely allies in a deadly secret war for control of the Middle East. So tried that one, Daniel Silva, The New Girl. And then this one I bought. I am kind of cheap and practical, I'll admit it. So I bought this one because I really want to read it, but also I'm not one of those booktubers that has a library of books. I like to read it and pass it on, and I know this is one that people will borrow from me and enjoy. So, true to my word, I got One of Us Is Next, the sequel to One of Us Is Lying. So I'll read that. I'll tell you what I thought of it. I'm sure I'll say good things, because if you look at my book reviews, I have a positive one of the first book, and I really liked it, One of Us Is Lying. For a young adult book, I thought that was just a breath of fresh air. I don't usually like young adult books. That one I really thought was just innovative and so good. So I'm interested to see the sequel, and I know that it's one I will pass on to other people who may borrow it. And, as if on cue, the rain is suddenly coming down again. It's a perfect day for vintage stores and bookstores. I think we're going to hit the outlets later. So I'm enjoying my vacation, but I'm thinking of all of you out there in booktube land, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.